What is good, fam? Drake just got caught trying to treat the legal system like a rigged slot machine, but the judge finally pulled the plug on August 3rd, 2026. That ruling sent his massive stream fraud case straight into the dark corners of private arbitration where the public cannot see a thing.
Singer Drake is facing a federal class action RICO lawsuit alleging that he used an online gambling platform, Stake.us, to artificially boost streaming numbers for his music and also misleading customers.
Courtroom 103, family court. They've banned the public from the courtroom. No public can watch this. Divorce? I guess.
This entire situation is nasty work because while he is out here filing hundreds of pages to prove Kendrick Lamar cheated the charts, his own skeletons with Stake.us are being locked away. The court basically told Drake that if he wants to talk about botting and fraud, he has to do it behind closed doors instead of using the courtroom as a stage for a public relations stunt. Losing the ability to leak discovery documents is a massive blow to his ego since he lives for the headlines and uses those leaks as his favorite weapon in this culture war. The August 3rd ruling marks a major shift in the narrative because it involves serious claims that Drake and his partners were inflating his numbers to stay at the top of the mountain. These allegations of stream manipulation are specifically linked to Stake.us, which is that massive gambling platform he has been pushing for years.
Fans notice how pissed off YG got at the verses when Drake's name got brought up.
But the most legendary rap beef is for sure the most recent rap beef.
His company, Frozen Moments LLC, is the entity right at the center of these claims, and that name is starting to look like a joke given how frozen his momentum feels right now. When the judge officially paused the lawsuit and ordered the parties to begin arbitration, it effectively killed any chance he had to play the victim during a public trial. Arbitration is usually where companies go to bury their dirt and settle things quietly so they do not have to answer to the fans in the light of day. For a guy who claims he wants the truth to come out, he sure seems to be heading toward a very quiet and private resolution for his own alleged crimes against the charts. This is a massive loss for his image because it makes it look like he is terrified of what the discovery process will reveal about his own streaming dominance.
So I think there may be unintended consequences that will largely bring Drake's alleged activities into much greater scrutiny by outside parties.
You can only shout about being the greatest of all time for so long before people start asking if those billions of streams are real or just coming from a server farm in the basement. The judge basically told him that the courtroom is not a podcast studio where he can just vent his frustrations and hope for a viral clip. By forcing this into arbitration, the court is protecting the business interests of Universal Music Group while leaving Drake without his favorite media tool. Stake.us has always been a controversial partner, and seeing those gambling ties bleed into his music career through fraud allegations is exactly what his critics wanted.
They are invoking federal RICO law. So basically they're accusing the defendants of participating in an ongoing enterprise involving illegal gambling, concealed money transfers, and coordinated digital manipulation.
Frozen Moments LLC was supposed to be part of his legacy play, but right now it just looks like a shell company for shady business practices he does not want fans to investigate. If these stream manipulation claims are true, it would mean that the commercial gap between him and Kendrick was never as big as the numbers suggested. That is the real reason he might have wanted to avoid a public trial, because once you look under the hood of those billion stream plaques, the whole engine starts looking rusty. The hypocrisy in this entire legal strategy is wild when you look at the 117-page appeal he just dropped on the world. He is currently fighting to overturn the October 2025 dismissal of his defamation lawsuit by claiming that Kendrick Lamar had lyrics on Not Like Us that were actionable defamation.
Fans notice how pissed off YG got at the verses when Drake's name got brought up.
But the most legendary rap beef is for sure the most recent rap beef.
Rap fans are saying it seems like Drake is getting blamed for everything, and he's becoming every rapper's favorite scapegoat.
Drake is arguing that calling him a certain type of predator and questioning his parenting was a coordinated character assassination campaign orchestrated by Universal Music Group. It is the height of irony to see him publicly accusing Kendrick and the label of using bots while his own team is ducking fraud allegations in private. His legal team filed their latest brief in January of 2026. and they are basically trying to say that the entire industry turned against him to protect Kendrick. The boy is out here writing novels to the court about how his feelings were hurt while staying silent about the stake.us situation that actually threatens his business model.
So who do the plaintiffs and government officials look to hold the bag?
The decision on August 3rd to pause the case shows that the legal system is officially exhausted by his attempts to use the courts for content. Drake cannot ask for transparency from his enemies while he is fighting like hell to keep his own business moves in the dark. This whole bot farm story he is trying to pin on Kendrick looks like a weak distraction from the actual questions about how much longer his career can last. If he really felt as confident as those Instagram captions suggest, he would want every piece of evidence out in the open to clear his name.
The plaintiffs allege that money moved through the online casino's tipping system was then used to fund artificial streaming activity, sometimes called botting, with the goal of inflating Drake's streaming numbers, manipulating algorithms, and amplifying online narratives.
That brief from January of 2026 is just a cry for help disguised as law, and it repeats the same tired excuses from the start of the beef. He is trying to tell a judge that the song Not Like Us hurt his pockets, but that sounds crazy since he just bought a new private jet. Drake wants everyone to believe Kendrick only won because of bots, even though he is the one headed to arbitration for his own botting scandals. This is a perfect example of projection, and the judge clearly saw the game when they decided to pause the case on August 3rd. Courts are meant for real disputes and not for helping a rapper fix his ego after he gets smoked in a public battle. Trying to sue his way back to the top only proves how far he fell from the days when a single song could shut the entire industry down. Now he is out here filing 60-page and 117-page complaints that nobody but his legal team is interested in reading. The irony here is heavy, and fans are starting to notice that the receipts he promised never made it into the actual courtroom. Every new brief feels like he is admitting that he cannot handle being the underdog for the first time in his entire life. While the boy from Toronto pays lawyers to clean up his image, Kendrick Lamar is moving like a real leader who does not need a judge to get respect. On July 31st of 2026, we saw a different side of Kendrick when he surprised a 7-year-old boy named Ramu Frazier Jr. in Detroit.
And we're going to get to the bottom of it. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below.
This kid had just survived a terrible dog attack, and Kendrick told him that his strength and resilience were an inspiration to everyone. He invited the boy to Los Angeles to hang out with the team, and that is the kind of real connection a marketing budget cannot buy. This move makes Kendrick look like the champion of the people, while Drake looks like a bitter man in a suit trying to sue for love. The optics for the OVO camp are terrible right now because Kendrick is giving us heart, while Drake is giving us legal technicalities. A few days later, on August 4th of 2026, Kendrick hopped on a DJ Dahi track and reminded everyone that he is still the king. He is dropping new music and winning, while his rival is dropping appeals and crying about his character in a 117-page document. The contrast is embarrassing because one man is focused on his legacy in the streets, while the other is focused on a legal filing. Drake is trying to convince a judge that he is the victim, but Kendrick is showing the whole world that he is the victor through his art. Before we move on and see how Kendrick is building a whole empire with pgLang while Drake is busy filing paperwork, tell me what y'all think about this legal play. Is it officially embarrassing for Drake to be fighting his battles with 100 pages of fine print instead of actual bars? Tell me in the comments. No cap. While you at it, like and subscribe to stay in the loop.
We're going to get to the bottom of this shit. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below.
Let's continue. Kendrick is not just doing charity work and guest verses because his creative agency, pgLang, is building a real empire that supports the culture. On June 8th, 2026, they signed a new R&B artist named Imani and released her project called Paper Cut. This move proved that Kendrick is actually invested in the future of the genre by giving new talent a real platform. While he is building up the next generation, Drake is using his voice to complain that the industry is being mean to his brand. By the time the 2026 Grammy Awards rolled around, the debate was finished for anyone who actually respects the craft of hip-hop. Kendrick made a clean sweep of the major categories by taking home Best Rap Album for GNX and Record of the Year for Luther. Those trophies effectively settled the GOAT debate for the industry professionals and the fans who value substance over fake streaming numbers.
So that's one part of the lawsuit. The other part of the lawsuit, which is where the entertainment industry aspects of it come into play, is that through this money transferring.
You cannot argue with that level of dominance when you compare it to Drake's recent run of petty Instagram captions and legal threats. Kendrick's Grand National Tour with SZA was another massive win that proved he has the superior live performance leverage in this industry. They were selling out stadiums and creating legendary moments while Drake was busy claiming that Super Bowl 59 was a secret campaign against him. Calling the Super Bowl a conspiracy is the ultimate form of cope because it ignores how the world has moved on from the Drake era of dominance. Kendrick already won the battle in the streets, and now he is winning the war on the charts through real engagement and high-quality music. Drake is fighting for his reputation in a boardroom full of corporate lawyers who are just there to collect a check and file more paperwork. He is trying to litigate his way back into a position of power that he lost the moment he stepped into the ring with a superior lyricist who actually had the receipts. The August 3rd ruling that forced him into private arbitration shows that his legal strategy has backfired on every level. He wanted to expose everyone else in a public trial, but he ended up getting his own business practices hidden in the dark where they cannot help his public image. Before we move on and see how Drake tries to spin this next legal loss into a victory, I want to hear what you all think about this arbitration news. I want to know if you think Drake is hiding his own botting receipts or if he is actually being targeted by the label like he claims. Tell me in the comments. No cap. While you are at it, like and subscribe. Let's continue.